Hi, Melanie. How are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm all right. I'm tired.
Yes, very busy start to 2024.
Yes, isn't it?
Yes.
And Tim, more to the point, how are you? You don't look any worse for the wear.
I'm fine. And the rumors that it was that meeting that got me ill are not true.
All right, and you've retained your sense of humor, so that's good. Oh, um,
How's it going, Melanie?
It is going well, Tim. Glad to see that you're fully recovered.
Well, I'm not supposed to lift stuff,
oh, I like
Probably
that.
for several weeks, I imagine.
probably, which I want to start kayaking and stuff. So it's going to impinge on that.
Yeah, but you're better off doing it and enjoying the rest of the season kayaking than taking the
Going
risk.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, fair point. Absolutely. But it was literally probably less than an hour after our meeting that I started to feel very bad.
Wow. And what brings it on?
Well, I understand it was perforated. The appendix was perforated, so it started leaking good inner goo
Mm.
into, like digestive stuff into my abdomen.
Oh, that's not good.
And my body did not like that.
Got it. Hi, Barbara.
So what did I miss on Thursday?
Um, well, we went through a couple of the articles and wordsmithed them and approved them, but probably the more noteworthy was that the CPC went back and redid the wording in some of the articles and their supporting statements, and at least from my point of view, improved them significantly.
Great.
Um, I think the one that was, and I'll ask Barbara and Melanie is to either affirm or deny, but the most contentious of them seem to be uh, the the Greystone Road study, which we thought was too open-ended, um, both as to location and deliverables, and they've tightened it up a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, that was the main. Um, by the way, how are you feeling?
I'm fine.
Ay, ay, ay. I mean, it just happened.
Yeah, I was just telling Bob. It happened like about an hour after our meeting.
So, like, all of a sudden you could feel something that was not good.
About an hour after our meeting, I started throwing up.
Oh, and did it actually hurt where the appendix is or was?
No,
No.
that was
So,
later.
how did you know that it was a ruptured appendix?
I didn't.
So you just went straight to Salem or someplace, and they.
No, not no. Early in the morning, I sent an email to my doctor with the accurate descriptive description of my symptoms, and then I went to work. And at noon, the nurse called back and asked me some questions. We talked about it a little bit, and she said, out of an abundance of caution, go to the ER.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did.
And they could tell instantly, or what did
No,
they do?
then I had some good symptoms. Then they did a CAT scan of my abdomen, and
Uh-huh.
they said, "Yep, got to do it."
But had it ruptured?
Yes.
Oh, so you were very lucky that when it did that, it didn't get into other things, I hope.
Well, they had to clean out.
Oh. Hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, exactly. Oh, okay.
Nothing from this meeting is as intense.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it does put perspective on it.
Well, wait a minute. Childbirth is a tad intense.
Oh, I said nothing from this meeting. And in fact, I
Oh.
compared it to a C-section light.
Had one of those. It wasn't light. Yeah.
No, mine is a light version of a C-section.
Got it. Thank you for understanding. But I'm glad they fixed it, and I'm glad they got you all cleaned out, obviously.
Yep.
This seemed to have been done pretty quickly. Didn't this just happen 3 or 4 days ago? When our last
It happened an hour after the last meeting I was at.
So
But as they say,
that's a week ago.
correlation is not causation.
Oh, I don't know.
Do they know what causes it, or is this something that just happens?
No,
They don't know.
they don't even know why we still have an appendix.
Huh.
You know, it is somewhat hereditary genetic, because I believe so, because and I have a bunch of kids that is statistically significant, being 9, and 3 of my 9 kids did have appendicitis, which seems high. I mean, if it was 1 out of 3, that would be different, but 3 out of 9, who knows?
As far as I know, none of my other 3 siblings ever have.
Oh, you sent us, Bob, right before the meeting,
Yes, I did.
the new warrant, which I haven't had a chance to read yet, but I'm assuming what we're going to do is go through it. Also, we need to, okay, so we need to have someone who'll take minutes. I have a suggestion.
I'll take minutes.
Are you serious? I was
Yeah,
going
no,
to.
if you recall, at the last meeting that I was at, I said I offered to take minutes the first meeting of this week.
Okay. I was going to give you the Purple Heart dispensation.
No, because I snuck out of it last time.
All
Well,
right.
what I'm going to suggest is that next year we just have a list so people
Yes, we should
know
roll through it.
exactly, and people will know exactly what date they're supposed to do it. And if they can't do it that date, they'll negotiate with somebody else.
Yes. Yes. All right. Hi, Dan. How are you?
Hello, Bob. Hello, team. FinCom team.
You're looking very dapper this evening.
Back from work. The curse of the drinking glass.
Yes. I am not. I'm doing this on a hotel Wi-Fi thing, and it's amazing that the hotel room looks exactly like Bathing Beach.
Amazing.
No.
Speaking of Bathing Beach, well, I guess let's not.
Yeah, let's not.
Why?
Oh,
Well,
do you not know?
No, what happened?
we lost the case, the Northeastern case.
Oh no.
Yeah, Judge Carr ruled that it was an improper.
Bad faith.
Hmm?
Well, Michelle's note said bad faith. I don't know what that
Bad
means.
faith. They cited bad faith, and Dan Scripps says we can appeal if we wish
Oh,
to.
good.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
But
still trying to figure that out. But let's do this. Let's call this meeting.
let's go down that rabbit.
Yeah, it's 6:35. Present from the Finance Committee, Bob Vanderslice, Barbara Beatty, Dan McMecken, Tim Bell, Melanie Drayton, Deborah Warren, and we're joined by Allison. Hi, Allison. Thank you for coming.
Hi.
Hi, Allison.
So yes, we lost, well, we lost at least that round. And I would actually encourage everybody to read the opinion, and I'd be curious what you think.
where is it? Is it on the town website?
I don't know. I can email it to you.
That'd be great. Please do. Thank you.
I'd like to see it too.
All right, I'll email it to everyone.
Thank
Great.
Do you have the whole opinion or just the excerpts?
Nope, the whole thing.
Awesome.
All 53 pages of it.
Ay, ay, ay.
Holy cat.
I'll read the abstract, at least.
Legal stuff.
Yeah,
I'd like
So-
to go, I'd like to see it. Yeah, thank you.
okay. Allison, a question. Did anyone make any progress with the assessors?
No progress has been made.
All right. So I think for our purposes, we're going with the omnibus as is, no changes to the assessors.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair
that's
enough.
how I would proceed. Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Then I emailed to everybody. Wait, I'm gonna do this on the share screen thing. Share screen. Hit the green arrow, Bob. I'm guessing it's this one. We'll see in a second. It is not. Wait a minute.
That
Hang on.
briefly looked like it.
Oh, because
Briefly,
yeah, but it isn't. It's because it isn't open because I had to close it to email it. So just give me a second here. Sorry for all the screen flashing and stuff. It's a Word document. Where did it go? It's not that. It's supposed to be here. All right, we'll do this another way.
Are you looking for the document that you just sent around with all the recommendations?
Yes, I got it. I'm good. Back to the Zoom meeting. I'm just not real good with Zoom, so I apologize here for being slow on this. Now I have the same problem. Which one of these? I think it's this one. Yes. Okay. Everyone see that?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So what I did was I went to the Dropbox and got a copy, the latest copy of the warrant that was there. It is dated April 11th. And I took everything that had been emailed to me and dropped it in the appropriate spot. So, for example, Article 1, Tim sent to me this recommendation. So I copied it in and I did a like formatting editing to it, except not really good for that first one. But I didn't change any of the words or anything like that. If you see it this way, all in bold, that means we have not reviewed it collectively. We have not reviewed it nor approved it collectively. There are a couple in here that we had approved last week, and they will show up like this. So there'll be a recommendation and it's not bolded. So we don't have to do those. And I was actually surprised there are still a couple, but not that many. If you just see FinCom recommendation like that with a yellow highlight, that means I didn't get anything, or I missed it, one or the other. So that's what we got. And I think probably the easiest way to do this is let's just start at the top and read and edit our way through it. And like that, right? So Article 1, this is Tim's, and typically there is no recommendation. is everyone okay with that as written?
I think a lowercase I on interdepartmental.
Yeah, but wasn't I doing transfers?
I thought so. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm doing transfers.
Okay, did you send them to me and I just missed them?
I absolutely sent them to you.
I didn't
I
send
sent you.
anything on that.
Tim didn't send you anything on that.
Oh, so this is Peter's.
This is mine. Yes.
All right, I'm Peter. I miss it.
That's why it's perfectly written. I'm just kidding. No, I
So
think it's
we should read. We should read this very, very
yes.
carefully.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, and I think I had told you all I did was basically copy the boilerplate, and obviously if we find out there's transfers between now and town meeting, we'll have to add some verbiage.
Okay. Is everyone okay with this?
Yeah, I move that we accept this as our non-recommendation.
But with Deborah's change of the interdepartmental being lowercase, the I.
Yeah, the way we see it now as written.
The way you see it now.
As amended.
Yeah, we get the English teachers working overtime.
Well, yeah. The English teachers haven't asked us to turn this passive sentence into an active sentence, but it doesn't matter.
What I see on the screen. Oh yeah, I see you fixed it. Good, thank you.
All right.
I second what, did someone make a motion?
Yeah,
I did,
Tim,
and Deb, you're seconding?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
All right. Let's just do a voice vote since most of these tend to be unanimous. So all in favor,
Aye.
I
all opposed. The ayes have it, unanimous vote in favor. Next, Article 2. Right now we have XXX for the dollar. This is an Allison question. Is this 30,000 here?
No, so I do have a number. Hold on just a moment. Let me pull it up. It's about 77,000. So 77,430. That's the overage in the snow and ice right now. And I don't expect additional bills to come because we're pretty much past the time frame. But I would recommend that this is transferred from the reserve fund, which is similar to what we did last year.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a sentence missing at the end. I stopped when I didn't know the money. So after that, it needs to say, how would you word that? We should say, for the FYI.
So now, hey, Barbara, hold for a second. So let's fix this sentence from the, it's not the 2025 reserve fund, it's the 2024 reserve fund, yes?
Correct.
The current fund, yeah.
2024.
it's funny. In the past, we did not recommend this.
We had no recommendation,
Yes, I'm reading from the when is this? 2021.
You did. I'm pretty sure you did last year.
Yeah, I don't know why we didn't in 2020, but we had no recommendation. Oh, you know why? Because when it went to print, we didn't have any.
There was snow and ice above our minimal number.
Yeah, something like that. So this is.
And is it raising and appropriating or just
No,
appropriate?
I would just say transfer from 2024 reserve fund.
So just, and this is this was 2021. It says each year this is the recommendation, or, each year the town appropriates a sum for snow and ice removal Under Massachusetts state law, we are allowed to overspend this budget. In fiscal year 2022, we are appropriating $30,000 compared to the actual expense of $57,125 in FY20. Funds required to cover this deficit in this account come from sources not anticipated revenue. At this time, the book went to the numbers weren't finalized. So that's essentially what we had, but we know the numbers now. So,
So can you read state law?
do you want all of that in there?
I think a sentence explaining what this is helpful, and yeah.
All right. So it says each year the town appropriates a sum for snow and ice removal, period. A sum for snow and ice removal. That's a good way to put it.
Specific, isn't it?
Period. And then under Massachusetts state law, we are allowed to overspend this budget.
Overspent.
Not spelled right. Well, no, wait. Can Microsoft spell this for me? No. It's so badly misspelled, it can't.
I would just
Can't
say
figure-
this overspend this budget.
This small budget. Or this minimal budget.
Just this budget, whatever it is, we're allowed to overspend it, whether it's big or
Right.
small.
Right.
And overspend may be one word.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
And what's the rest of it? And fund the
The other ones are the rest of it includes like we appropriated this amount and the expense is actually this.
yeah, I don't know that we need it.
I don't think we need all of that.
Right. I don't either.
So, is that okay?
That would be I think that's an Allison question if that last sentence is correct.
For readability, I would say the prior winter. Just because people can get confused about fiscal years.
True.
You can just say like this past winter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think prior winter actually works better.
Yeah, but
I like it.
change the word this small budget to either small sum, because that's what you called it up above, or small amount. Since
Yeah,
it's referring to the same thing. Just keep the words consistent.
Yep. That's why I was struggling with the spelling of appropriation. Yeah. Okay.
I think it looks good. I'll make a motion that we accept it as written.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All
Who was
opposed?
the second? Oh, sorry.
Oh, I seconded it, Barbara.
Thank you.
Okay. All opposed? No, then unanimous vote in favor. Off we go. Article 3. This is prior year's bills.
Okay, so now I know we have to change this because don't we have 2 invoices now?
Yeah, so we had mentioned at the last meeting that we just uncovered a second invoice. It's to be paid out of the Memorial Day committee budget.
Yep.
And it was for the sound system at the wharf. And the total is, I just had it, $1,380.
And hopefully we won't have to worry about this next year because I'm taking up a collection for this.
And we increased their budget too, so.
Well, that happens next fiscal year, but nothing for this year.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm trying to cover this year.
To be paid from where?
450 is coming out of the town assessor's budget.
Mhm.
And the second one is 1,300.
80.
Any change?
Nope.
Cool.
What?
The
For the
memorial,
sound system, Memorial Day sound system at the wharf.
yes.
Ward.
Yeah. To be paid from, Allison, you told us and I've forgotten. I
The
apologize.
Memorial Day Committee Fund, I guess, right? Is that
The Memorial
right
Day committee budget.
budget?
Mhm.
No, stop it.
I was just double checking. There's no Memorial Day revolving fund.
No, so I did look, there's a small, it's an old Memorial Day donation account that if there was sufficient funding in there, we could have paid it without having to go to town meeting for approval. But there's like $100 in there. So I did look to try to avoid this.
You yeah,
Not a
Yep.
so many, it's a committee.
committee. Yeah, I didn't know if if we needed any kind of anything other than a simple, we recommend that we pay these invoices.
Yeah, I don't think we need anything more than what we've got here.
Right.
This is good.
All right.
I move we approve it as written.
Second,
Well, second,
Excellent. Voice vote, all in favor,
I,
aye.
all opposed. The ayes have it, unanimous vote in favor.
And who is the second again?
I second Barbara. I seconded it.
Barbara, thank you.
Okay, Article 4, salary and classification plan. Allison, you look like I caught you with your you sent that, you can just shake your head yes or no to this, right? You sent this along earlier this afternoon.
Yep, I did. So that is available for you to review. I don't know if you want to take some time and then vote on it tomorrow or.
Yeah, that was what I was going to recommend. So it's long. And rather than just then read it tonight, let's do this one tomorrow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so just a high level, it starts out with the full-time positions goes into part-time positions, but then it has the salary scales from the collective bargaining contracts, which are set. So if you want to, those can't be changed, but just to let you know that those are included in there.
So I guess questions that I have is, do we want to include a paragraph in there that says the town is currently studying the salary and classification plan and next year hopes to
So we received the results.
Yeah.
And it's incorporated into the ranges that are in the classification plan.
So that's a good part of the recommendation then, to say that we've just received research information back that aligns with this, or.
Yeah, so Tony's not on the meeting tonight just because of the Board of Selectmen meeting. He'll be on tomorrow. We literally just received the results today, and he wanted to share the results with the selectmen first. However, I have incorporated, the proposed salary ranges into the classification plan that I sent to you. But he can definitely speak, more about the results tomorrow.
Did you write the language that says that this has been updated to? No.
No, I have not. So I didn't change any of the verbiage in the actual classification plan. All I did was update the actual salary ranges. And as Tony had spoken previously, we had moved some positions that appeared as like under the part-time section. We moved those up to full-time, such as children's librarian and the assistant to the inspector. So we just did some of that, but I didn't change any verbiage in it.
How much do you think we have to give on the backstory, like what it was before? The less, the better, but how much?
What do you mean in terms of the ranges?
Yeah, and what changes were made, even if at a high level, like, I don't know.
Well, we've changed it. You have voted to change it every year. And the changes have been varied based on, collective bargaining contracts. We've mirrored, the collective bargaining increases.
Breaking up.
The ranges are just kind of, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now we can.
Yeah.
Okay. I have spotty internet service. So the ranges are a little bit wider than they have been in the past, just based on the survey. They've definitely been adjusted. I'm not sure what kind of background you want to include.
I don't want to include it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really interested to see for myself and for this committee the pre and post, the numbers that you were about to send us versus the numbers you actually sent us after adjusting for the report.
Right. But I don't think that the town needs to see that.
But I want to see it.
Yeah, right. I understand. I think that'd be interesting.
I mean, so what you can look at now is the classification plan from last year compared to what I sent you this year. And that shows, the changes in the ranges. But the actual, like the results and they gave us like a PowerPoint presentation to look at. I think Tony will share that with you once he shares it with the Board of Selectmen.
Okay. All right. So this, did you send it to the entire committee or just?
I sent it. Yep. I sent it to everyone.
Right. So you should find this recommendation in your email from Allison. And I guess I'm proposing at least a sentence or two that says the salary and we updated the salary and classification plan based on a study or comparing. We'll figure out the words. You know where I'm going.
Yeah, you also should put in something on how we can't change the contractual terms of union contracts.
Yes, that's
or
already
other agreements.
That's
okay.
Already.
All right.
Blah, 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 blah. All right, compensation for elected positions. I think that's similar to number 4, right? You sent that as well at this.
So it's the last section of that document too, but you had already taken a vote on this previously because I had shared it with you live at one of your meetings. It's the Board of Selectmen, the constable, and the town clerk salaries. So you had already approved this at a prior meeting.
Okay.
But what I can do in the document that I sent you, it's a table with those salaries in it. We usually can put that in there.
Hmm.
Okay. Omnibus. This is an interesting one. Do the selectmen need to take any further action on this?
So they are tonight. I adjusted the omnibus for the library vote that you took to adjust the salaries.
Okay.
So that's going before the Board of Selectmen tonight, and I expect them to approve it too.
Good.
Okay. But I guess in a way, it's still our budget. So we could,
You can vote it.
I mean, theoretically, we could vote a budget that is different than the selectmen's budget. I would prefer, as a matter of form and cooperation and all that, we should align.
You want to wait until tomorrow when
Yeah.
they've had their action?
Yep, exactly. So let's wait on that one. All right, water and sewer enterprise. This is Dan's.
We need cover. We need, yeah, an R.
I probably deleted the letter when I was
Pasting.
pasting. Yeah.
Do we need to put dollar amounts in this? I don't know that we do. I think we should just run this as it is.
Wait a minute.
The way
You
it
had in prior years, but it's completely up to you.
in prior years we
The
had
motion will have numbers in it.
Yes, because water and sewer, you got to have salaries, expenses, capital outlay, debt. You got to have it listed out.
So if it's in the motion, all the numbers are there. I think
if it's in the motion, the numbers will be read out loud.
yes.
Right.
But all right. So I'm looking again at the 2021 book. I should probably try and find another one too. You look at both of them, but
no,
2021
they have like almost like an income statement.
Yes, they do. Yeah. So essentially, it's the article itself says to see if the town will vote to raise, obviously, and then below it, the recommendation. This article allows the transfer of collected water and sewer usage fees and transfers from general fund debt portion to the water sewer enterprise fund. Following will be appropriated for the direct expenses associated, and then it's water sewer enterprise fund salaries, expenses, capital outlay, debt, and emergency reserve with a subtotal. And the total is raised as follows: water and sewer receipts, investment income, and usage of available water and sewer funds. But that's just a recommendation.
Can you see what I just did or what I'm showing now? Or
no?
That's what I thought. It's Zoom. Damn it. All right. There it is. Now the next question is how screen share. All right, we're going to share the whole screen. Boom. So now you should see it. So it looks like the recommendation looks like this. There's the paragraph.
Yep.
And then there's this down here.
Yep. Salaries, expenses. Continue scrolling. I mean, the way that it's listed here, Bob, I mean, it looks like you have spaces in between the lines. These are stacked directly one on top of the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, we can fix.
Okay, okay.
This is last year's recommendation.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's what it looked like in 2021.
Yeah.
Let's use the same format. Do we have the new numbers, Allison?
Yeah, I can share them with you right now. I have my spreadsheet up in front of me if you want to.
Great. Let's just stick with the new numbers and say it's good to go.
Yeah, copy and paste it, right?
Yeah, do you want me to share my screen or is it easier for me to send it to you, Bob?
Probably easier to read it line by line. Well, I don't know.
Oh, I can do that too. Just read it. All right, so yeah, it should be FY25.
You're testing my my cutting and pasting of, oh shit. Sorry, I didn't say that.
And send it to us by tomorrow.
Yeah. Can you do that?
Yeah.
If you're willing.
Yeah, because it is easier if you just copy and paste. I have it in a spreadsheet, so it'll copy and paste in that same format.
And you spelled it correctly this time. Spelled it correct. All right, so anything that's got the yellow highlighter on it, we need to revisit.
Okay. Water and sewer doesn't have the same thing on it, at least in my older version.
Really?
Yep, it doesn't have the that spreadsheet.
And it looks like that's already been approved.
It's already been approved.
Oh, okay.
It's not in bold.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Last year?
Yeah, we did approve a bunch of these, so.
I know. I'm just, well, you're right. It didn't have that last year. Okay.
Rubbish Enterprise Fund, does that have it?
Sorry, for water and sewer paving, I don't know if you want to clarify that the 50,000 is to be funded from retained earnings.
Wouldn't hurt.
Wouldn't that actually be in the article though?
It's not in the article. It will be in the motion.
In the motion, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. The article has to have all the verbiage, like appropriated, transfer, blah, 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 blah.
Is it appropriated or transferred?
I would just say it will be funded from retained earnings, from water and sewer retained earnings.
The Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund? Or is it the Water and Sewer Paving Enterprise Fund?
No, Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund.
Okay. Then we get rid of that read right? The advisor recommends the sum of $50,000 to be appropriated from retained earnings of the Water and Sewer Enterprise for paving throughout the town, including all costs incidental and related to. It may be putting too. All right. Is that okay?
Yep.
So since we changed it, let's keep it clean and motion and vote.
Move we approve.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
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 I'm getting echoes now. All opposed? All opposed? All right, unanimous vote in favor. Unanimous vote in favor.
All right, so somebody's hooked up twice. And that's why we're getting, feedback.
It's one way to. Is that better?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Joy causing the problem.
Me. I'm sorry, I'm in the car.
That's
and
okay.
I had it hooked up to the radio so I could hear.
All right, well, it is fixed now.
Can't hear.
Okay. Rubbish enterprise, blah, blah, blah. So advisory and finance recommends passage of the article. The article I'm changing that to authorizes the use of rubbish enterprise usage fees for the following purpose. So should we bullet this?
I certainly would take away this article allows, because we just said it. This article authorizes, it says, and then the second time.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's do. Following purposes. Existing and ongoing collection in this, what? Do we even need that? So what's it authorizing? It's authorizing pickup and disposal of recyclable materials. So maybe we just simplify this whole thing. Dan, I'm cutting.
I'm okay.
You're okay? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so if this is an enterprise fund, this is authorizing the collection and the expenditure, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so we should also, I'm looking at, this is Rubbish Enterprise.
Yes.
I'm looking at the 2021 book, and we also have the enterprise fund, salaries, expenses, capital outlay, debt, emergency reserve. So you may want to, thank you, insert income statement.
Didn't we decide not to do that before?
That was just the paving piece.
Right. So the paving piece, you're not taking money in and laying it out.
Right. But as long as we haven't already voted this to make it moot, I mean, if we don't need.
Oh, disposal. Yeah, you need an AL there.
Yep.
So isn't it this article authorizes the collection and use of rubbish enterprise usage fees?
What does the,
Yeah, that was there because we're collecting money and we're dispersing money under this.
Did we have that collection part up above for the other enterprise fund? Oh, we don't need to, it's retained. All right.
to cover general and administrative expenses of. Oh, but this one's different.
It's not collection because it's what a water and sewer. Yeah, no.
Allison, can you help here? So this is water and sewer, and we're saying we're transferring water and sewer usage fees from the general fund to cover the expenses of the water and sewer department.
So it's similar for rubbish. I don't know if you necessarily have to say you're transferring expenses from the general fund, but we're basically using fees raised through the funds raised through the trash fees to support operating expenses of the rubbish enterprise fund, which includes, I think there's one salary on there and administrative expenses.
Yeah, I almost think you're getting, I'm looking back at this from 2021, and it's literally, it says Advisory and Finance Committee recommends passage of this article. This article allows for the use of rubbish enterprise usage fees for the following purposes, and that's where the statement gets put in.
Yeah, can we assume that the voters know what an enterprise fund is? Because we spelled it out. We're recommending spelling it out a little bit by saying collection and
so the actual definition of an enterprise is it's a self-funded entity. So you're raising money through fees, and that's supporting the operations of that department.
Deborah, I think you're right. It would be useful the first time we say enterprise fund to put a definition like that.
We never have before, so.
But it'd be useful because I've never known specifically what it meant. So I'm happy to know this. It sounded so enterprising.
Brother.
Now that you've done this, it's kind of silly, but I mean, this is the sort of thing we could make a bulleted list of because there are a few alsos in there, but let's leave it for now.
Yeah, we can leave it.
So the sentence that Dan included in terms of transferring from the general funds for debt service, that is true. So that's the only part of the water and sewer enterprise that isn't self-sufficient. We raise debt service on the property tax. So that statement is true. You may want to leave it in.
All right. This is just getting worse and worse. How's that?
Nice.
Except the first time that you say water and sewer enterprise fund, comma, you need to put in which is, before you put the including, go up to the top there,
Yeah.
which is, and now we define it. Which is a what? No, it has to be a comma before which, has to be a comma after fund there, which is a self, whatever it is. What is it, Allison? It's a self-funding,
An account that can collect and use fees.
but it's a self-funding, right?
But
Water,
technically, water and sewer isn't 100% self-funded because of that, the debt shift. So that
Oh.
would be a little
Oh,
a
So
little
this-
not
But it's
true for water and sewer. It's true for rubbish.
But it's an account that can collect and disperse fees.
Mhm.
okay, that's good. Which is an account which can collect and disperse fees. That,
Or,
not
or
that,
monies.
which is an account that can collect and disperse fees. Collect and disperse. What's happening?
Actually, funds is probably more appropriate.
yeah. Because you don't disperse fees.
Right. Collect and fund. This says disperse. Oh, there you go. Right.
I think the second bullet needs to be matching the two ing ones on the previous.
Correct.
Whatever our verb is there. Cover it. I don't know.
Better?
Yeah. And don't worry, we can reuse and reuse this in subsequent years, so it's worth the investment of all this.
So that's what we said last year.
Yeah,
Right, right.
not on this particular one.
True, Deb.
But we may be able to reuse it this year when we get down to the rubbish one.
Yeah.
So it can, I mean, mentally, um, find and replace water and sewer enterprise fund with the word rubbish enterprise fund. And I think it holds except
Except
for
debt service.
the debt service. So if we just literally take this and put it down here.
You know, Word has this find and replace thing.
I know, but I was scared it was going to replace it all over the place. So
We have water and sewer paving, and it might have gotten above itself.
and then this one does not transfer debt service. It's just income and expense. like that?
But you have to get rubbish in there.
Oh,
Isn't
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. Thank you. Tim, you're right too.
is it rubbish disposal?
Collection.
Collection and disposal?
Well, that doesn't go with. Yeah.
And rubbish either has to be capitalized or not in that first bullet. I wouldn't capitalize it in the first bullet.
You're right.
There you go.
And then we don't need that anymore. Okay. All right, so we still need the income statement. So we can't vote on it. All right, Article 10, compost area, we voted that one last week. Recreation revolving fund.
The things listed above. I don't remember that.
It's right there. It says it's
Oh,
for
right there in the article. Thank you.
yeah, basketball, sailing, tennis, etc.
I see. Okay, that, yeah, I was looking up above previous articles. Thanks.
No, just one there.
I don't think I would say without additional funding from the town budget, because sailing and tennis do have an appropriation.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Those,
And again,
right,
I don't know why we just don't copy and paste from the previous years. This is a cut and dry. We do this article every single year, and it would just be, you know, there's.
This is last year's article authorizes the use of revolving accounts for several recreational listed above. Good accounting practice. It's almost the same.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, it's exactly the same. But this should, it's almost like when we do the work next year, we literally should go in every article that's the same. We should just copy and paste it, and then change the numbers where we need to change it, and because it doesn't make sense to waste time trying to re-wordsmith something that we do every year.
Well, that's really up to the person who's writing the recommendation too. I cut and paste and use boilerplate whenever I can.
Oh, right. No, but I'm saying we could literally, yes, even though Tim is going to be reading this, if we just, recreation revolving, it's the same thing every year. If we just automatically copy and paste it, we just skip right over it. Tim doesn't have to waste his time. We don't have to waste our time other than voting on it.
Yep, exactly.
Same with revolving funds. Isn't that the same?
I think it is. I think it is. So, all right. So having said that, is there a motion on this one?
I'll make a motion
I'll second.
to approve as written.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Unanimous vote in favor. The ayes have it. Revolving funds. Let's go and look at last year's and get our Yeah.
With the approval of the city council and mayor?
That's not us.
You could customize that one, don't you think?
Yep.
I
I
think
mean,
that
except it's the verbiage of the law probably, but
and there's again, Allison, in the motion itself, there's a list of um, these revolving funds and what the maximum is. Yes?
Yeah, I also think it was in your book though, too. Did you miss the second half of that recommendation?
Very well could have. Is there more? There you go. Yeah.
the next page.
Mm, I'm scared to see what that's going to look like. Yeah.
I can insert the table again if you want to write me in there.
Mhm. This doesn't even feel like a recommendation. I think this is like literally as simple as saying uh, the maximum amounts are, and then the table, and that's it.
Are we recommending that they pass the article?
Well, I'm assuming so. But we'll know when we vote on it, Tim. I'm assuming we will. I'm not trying to be a wise ass.
I know. Do we? I mean, it's the same as last year. Again, this is another boilerplate.
I know, but in this case, the boilerplate doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, I mean, on or before July 1st each year, in accordance with Mass General Law, blah, 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 town shall vote the amount may expend from a revolving account. Uh, insert the, yeah, and the committee recommends we vote to approve. Something simple like that.
Yeah. Even that's redundant.
Right, right. I wish I could find it in my
This is what was there last year.
right,
I just copied that in,
right.
but it doesn't make sense. I mean, we're talking about city councils and mayors and
City council and mayor.
Well, that's the law. That's
That's
you're
the
that's
law.
the verbatim of the law, so it
And
doesn't matter.
There's an or there, so it's understood that it's any of those.
Right.
all right. Well, okay. If everyone else is okay with this, then
Yeah. I would just make it easy. Therefore, we recommend that you pass this. I mean,
That's kind of
Like that?
Or we could just even at the top, we could say in accordance with Massachusetts general law, which requires something like that. Does that do it? Make it one sentence? Or
I
maybe
like it. I like
Well,
it.
that's
Yeah.
the, in accordance with the law is right there at the top of the first sentence.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was going to suggest. Do you want to say that?
you got it in both places.
I'm sorry.
Where did we have it?
GLC 44, section 53E. That's a Mass General Law.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I think we want to keep it short as possible.
I agree.
So you're saying get rid of this Mass General Law requires that?
No, I
No.
think people need to know that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think what Tim's saying is it's redundant. That whole first
It's
sentence is
redundant. You're right.
redundant. Yeah.
Oh,
I think we can get rid of
okay.
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure we
Yeah,
explicitly
I get it.
Just explicitly say thus we recommend. I mean, it's and reason. Oh, I don't know if we have to say thus we recommend this at the end.
Well, we said recommended.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We said it, so we don't need to repeat that. Right.
All right.
Done.
Done?
Not done until we vote.
Motion?
So moved.
I
Second?
second. I second.
Okay. Okay. I got two people moving, two people seconding.
You
Pick your
choose.
favorites.
Here's what you
Tim, you can take the Dave Conlon approach and
Yes. Just put somebody down.
Do we vote?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Unanimous vote in favor. Article 13.
So on 13, I took the general verbiage from last year. However, I made three specific changes. The most obvious change is what the new balance is in cash. The second change is that when I read it last time, it looked like it was only for people who had not retired yet, but that's not true. Anybody who's a retiree is part of that obligation, present or future. So I took out the future reference. And then the third thing is looking at it, we are near the bottom of the list as far as how much we are funding so far. And I wanted to highlight that. So we're ranked 16 out of 19 Essex County municipalities in our funding rate.
Oh,
Where did you get that statistic from, Tim?
From the data you sent me.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that might be retirement appropriation.
I think it's the funding rate on their OPOB as, I mean, the amount that they pre-funded versus their
Because our OPEB analysis that's done by a third party, it doesn't compare us to other municipalities. So it wouldn't be in that.
no, it just had the information. And I just looked, we're at like, I think 5% or 4.4 something, whatever the number was. I just looked and there were a couple that were lower than us and the rest were higher than us. And I only looked at municipalities because the school districts are very underfunded.
So I think you were looking at retirement appropriation.
Oh.
Not OPEB.
Do you know what OPEB should be?
No, because there's no law that mandates we have to be fully funded by a certain time, where for retirement there is. So that's why you tend to see more, a ranking in terms of retirement appropriation and how close to fully funded municipalities are.
Yeah, this is the one we had a short conversation about whether to disclose the unfunded liability. Is it not?
And we weren't going to do that. Yeah.
We decided not to do that because that's a big scary number.
Correct.
Let's see. I think Allison's right. I think I was looking at the retirement number, not the OPEB number. I apologize.
Okay.
Don't let it happen again.
Right.
Here I'm trying to go above and beyond.
No, I like it. The rest of it, though. I even like what you had done. If we knew the right. Are we okay? Anyone want to make a motion on this one or further discussion?
Make a motion. So moved.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Deborah, I believe it was.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you. All opposed? Okay, unanimous vote in favor. Stabilization. This is Peters.
Yep. Boilerplate.
Yep.
Pretty much copied. I just need that appropriation, that balance of the stabilization fund. Because I think, didn't we talk about this last time? I thought we got numbers.
Thought we did too.
Yeah, the current balance is 870, 878. It'll earn a little bit more interest through fiscal year end.
What's the difference between recommended and unanimously supported? Could we just say unanimously supported? What's the distinction?
Well, we're recommending the article, but we're unanimously supporting. This is something that we took a vote on a few years ago, I think we've taken it every year, is where we're unanimously supporting, thank you, the policy of funding the stabilization fund. And maybe we need to put that after we support the 200,000, but have something like we support the policy of funding the stabilization fund to X amount, to the, what is it, 15% or something?
I think we had said to approximately 10%. Right. And I think it's 10.
Okay.
Tony would know, but I'm pretty sure he said 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was 5.
Yeah, 10%
that's
of the operating budget.
I would probably say state recommended target of 10% of the operating budget.
I like that. Yes.
Yep.
Otherwise, it sounds like that's what you have to do.
Right.
Approximately what approximately what is our target?
I think we said 10%.
Right.
No, what's the dollar?
Yeah, what's the dollar amount?
I don't know.
We don't know.
That was an Allison question again.
I could do a quick calculation. Hold on a minute.
While she's doing that, I think maybe it would make more
It's
sense
gonna,
to put the unanimously supports the policy before the recommendation part in the same sentence. We unanimously support this thing and we recommend it. See what I'm saying?
and just so you know, the of approximately whatever, it's going to change every year because it's 10% of the budget,
Right.
right?
Yes.
So why would you put a dollar amount down when you just put 10%?
Yeah, I don't
I
think we
guess.
should have a dollar amount here.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I included it just to give us an order of
How
magnitude.
close are we to that goal?
Yeah.
It's fine.
So 10% of the FY25 operating budget is 1.8 million.
Okay.
All the other times we've done it. Okay, so let's read this. Does this actually make sense? Massachusetts law provides for the establishment and ongoing funding of stabilization funds for city and town. Advisory and Finance Committee recommends this article and unanimously supports the policy of funding the stabilization.
I think that's in the wrong order. That sentence, it unanimously supports and then recommends.
Right. Yeah, it supports this article.
Yeah, that would come right after the city and town.
Supports the policy of funding, yes,
stabilization,
and thus recommends this article.
It just feels like we're protesting too much with the unanimously.
This wasn't. Oh, what did...
So descend, Tim, and then we can change it.
Fund to the state recommended target of 10% this year.
Okay, that I'm happy with that, with the sequence. It's logical. I also think that next sentence should be up there in the policy section before we do the recommendation. We support the policy, management continues their commitment, so and then we recommend it at the end.
So actually the DOR recommends 5 to 7%. 10% is Tony's recommendation.
That's important to know.
Yeah.
That raises some issues. It might. People might want to know why we're going higher.
Why we're going to 10.
Right.
Well, for one thing, we get better ability to get grants, right? The higher we go.
I don't know. Do we?
Yeah, I think so. I think it gives you an edge up because they know that you have a little extra money to match and stuff.
Good management practices, good budgeting practices or something.
You might just want to state that with the FY25 appropriation, it would bring you up to the 7% target that the state recommends instead of even mentioning 10%.
I agree. Right. I think that's better.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
So the Advisory and Finance Committee supports the policy of funding stabilization fund to the state recommended target of 7%. This appropriation will bring us to that goal or something to that nature.
Yeah.
All right.
And then, of course, next year we'll have to figure out how we're going to put the 10%.
But that's for next year.
Right.
But we can still use most of the verbiage we slaved over this year.
Right, so a state recommended target of 7% of the operating budget. This year, approximately, it's no longer 1,000,008.
Right.
So 7%, would that be 1.26 million?
Did you do that?
1.3.
Yeah, 1.3.
Okay. And with 200 on top of the 870, that's not 1.3. So we're not hitting the 7%. We're within the range.
Mhm.
Maybe it brings us closer.
Yeah.
To the goal of 7%.
To approach.
Brings us close.
Yeah.
Right. It brings us above 5%.
But it does bring us close to the recommended 7, right? How close?
I think I heard Allison say that the recommendation is 5 to 7.
5 to 7, right?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should just put 5 to 7.
Or it puts us within the 5 to 7% recommended target range.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we're recommending $200,000 this year.
Comma, which puts us within the 5 to 7% target range.
State recommended.
That puts us within the 5 to 7% state recommended target range.
I'm hesitating only because the town's goal has been 10%, and
Oh, yeah.
right, by publishing it this way, it makes it difficult next year
This
to,
is going to cause problems for Tony.
yeah.
I don't want to do that.
I think we need to even talk about the target.
Yeah, maybe not. Let's see.
I do not want to put Tony in an awkward position with this for next year. Nope.
So then,
I'm not sure we need the target.
and that's maybe why we have that verbiage. We had that verbiage in there unanimously to really give it that we've been supporting this, you know.
So maybe we just say to approximately 10%. We don't have to say who or how, just to
Right.
approximately 10% of the operating budget this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and take out that number there.
Right.
Which number?
Oh,
no, you need that. Committee enthusiastically supports ongoing funding of $200,000 this year.
Right.
10% is 1.18, right?
Yes, 10% is 1.8. I would leave the 200,000. Obviously, we need that in there, and then the current balance of the stabilization fund for fiscal year 2025 is 870,000.
That's before this 200,000, though. Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Before the appropriation. So when we're all said and done, and I know Allison said this number is going to change because of the interest, but at this point, I wouldn't quibble over pennies.
like that.
Yeah.
It's short, it's
And
sweet.
we can say
I think it's on
ongoing
point.
this year, right? I
Hmm?
mean, I guess we can.
Yep.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve as written.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All
Aye.
opposed? The ayes have it. Unanimous vote in favor. Okay, paving, number 15. Actually, how are we doing here? I have been running meetings for the last 3 days, so I'm sensitive to this. Does anybody want to take like a quick 5-minute break?
I'd rather take the break at the end by leaving 5 minutes earlier.
All right,
I
that's
second
fair.
that.
That's fair. Okay, off we go then. Article 15, paving. One of my folks says something about the mind. What is it? The mind can.
The
Dan
brain
knows
can
it.
absorb what the butt can endure.
There you go. Thank you.
So I left the dollar amount blank on this. I figured Allison would know it, and
It's in the article, so it's 200,000.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
And,
And then I don't know if you want to, so we're proposing 100,000 is to be funded with free cash and 100,000 is to be borrowed. Again, that'll be said in the motion, so you don't necessarily have to include it in your recommended language.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Allison. I was not paying attention.
So we're proposing that 100,000 will be funded with free cash and 100,000 will be borrowed.
And that must be in the motion, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It will be in the motion. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do we need it? Then do we need it here?
You don't. I just thought I'd say that to clarify. You can include it, but you don't have to.
we probably shouldn't get into this right now, Allison, but I would like to have in my possession a an Excel sheet that shows all debt by the town. We borrow money here and there, and I'd like to get the view from 30,000 feet. I mean, each time it comes, it's like, oh yeah, it's just 100 grand. We'll borrow it, but you know, it adds up to something. And at some point, we have to be concerned about debt service. Obviously, our interest rates are spectacular, but I would still like to know on a go forward basis as we evaluate any spending measure that involves borrowing to be able to see the full picture.
Yeah, so I do have a complete debt schedule in the Dropbox folder.
Oh, there is. Okay,
And it's
great.
one of the appendices that I usually include in your booklet that I
Oh,
provide
great.
to you. So the electronic version's there, and I can,
Great.
for town meeting, I can make a hard copy of that for anybody.
Great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Bob, the first sentence here doesn't scan.
it doesn't end. It's a
The
fragment.
first sentence, that doesn't scan. It's missing something.
Recommend.
What is this paving?
It's a verb.
Yeah,
Needs this removed.
Yeah.
and isn't it through the town?
Or throughout.
Throughout.
Throughout
Wow.
the town.
Oh, you want both, huh? You want it all.
Yeah.
That looks nothing like the one from previous years.
I like this. It explains what's going on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, that's interesting. What else are they going to pave it with?
Money.
Gold.
Dirt.
Gold. Gold.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Crushed
And
stone.
Tony's not here, and I can't tell him, does this cover the sidewalks on Emerald Road?
Oh, picky.
Well, I don't know. As I said, I think on one of our prior meetings, Emerald Road has been like a war zone, and I'm perfectly fine with it because, as Zach Taylor, the DPW director, said, that he'll be long retired by the next time they have to open up our street. So I'm perfectly happy with it, and most of the neighbors don't see a problem with it either. And Tony seems way more concerned about it than we are. But
Pete, I will tell you, I avoid driving down Emerald Road because
yeah,
it's so bumpy.
yeah.
Well,
So
built-in speed bumps is the way I see it. I love that.
exactly, and if
Oh,
you,
okay.
I've lived here a long time, and I got to tell you, there's a stop sign at the corner of Pond and Emerald that most people ignore. So
I don't ignore that, but it is
yeah,
it is bumpy. Deborah
we
has
do
I haven't
we
been
do
to,
have some
why is it bumpy?
because it
because
keeps
they're
getting repaired.
no. They rent it. So, and this is what we do. This is been our planning over the past couple of years. So Emerald Road now has brand new gas lines. They've relined our sewage lines and replaced and repaired other areas of the sewer lines, and they are just finishing up on the water lines. So everything that runs under the street on Emerald Road is brand new. So unless there's some catastrophic failure of new stuff, we should, not have to be torn up again for a long time. Now it will take a year for everything to settle before they come and actually repave. But hey, I'm willing to wait just because I know it's going to be nice when it's done.
But they're not done yet.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah,
So it is
exactly.
going to be repaved. Good.
Yep, absolutely. May not be until next year, by the way, but
Okay. Did we vote this one?
we have not.
We have not, I don't think.
There was some question. There was something was missing, and I wasn't really paying attention that closely. So somebody else might want to proofread it before we say yes.
Well, that first sentence works now. Scans.
I'll make a motion then that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No. Unanimous vote in favor. Off we go. Article 16. Let's get this all on the screen. What's the easiest way to do this? Should I read this out loud, or should we just let you read it yourselves?
What is this one? The MWRA?
Yep. And the new water meters.
This is new water meters.
So Article 16.
Yes.
The new meters are steadier.
There's an R missing. I have that in my own here. Thank you. Sturdier.
I was thinking studlier.
Like that?
No, there's an sturdier.
I know.
Oh, I like that. Thank you. Got it.
They allow monitoring of dripping.
I don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
I think monitoring of leaks.
Leaks. Yeah. Thank you.
I think dripping is cute, but
it's leaks.
Leaks.
Actually, and burst pipes.
Yeah.
How about they also help
identify leaks
Yeah, like
and burst pipes. Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone more changes or a motion?
I'll move that we approve it.
Second,
So motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? No, there are no nays, so unanimous vote in favor. Yay, off we go. MWRA Capital. This one should be a boilerplate or close to boilerplate. Paving. This is you're looking at last year's. It's not that, oh, so it's got to be further down. Yuck, we don't want to go there. Did I miss it? Just holler out if you see it go by here.
oh, but I didn't see it.
There it is. So this was last year's. So that can be our starting spot. That's simple and to the point. Does anyone want to either recommend changes or recommend we accept it?
Well, I would recommend we accept that. I like it. It's straightforward and the 0% is very impressive.
All right. Is there a second?
Sure, I'll second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Unanimous vote in favor. Yay. Article 18, we voted this last time.
Yay.
Okay. Article 19, Chapter 90. Again, this should be pretty boilerplate. That was again, this one's pretty straightforward.
I have one question. Isn't there an earlier one in which we have to borrow or
Yep.
wherever find money for paving? So how come does the state just not give us very much or what?
Correct. Yeah, the state only gives us about 100,000. So that other one is sorry, my son's crying in the background. That other paving one is to supplement this.
That makes sense.
So I would put I believe it's 90,000 is the estimate for FY25.
Do we want to go back up to the earlier paving article and put the word supplements or something in there? Or does that not matter? Let's not, it's fine. I just wondered.
It's almost the other one is way larger than this.
Right, because we have to supplement this.
Yeah. To me, it's fine the way it is.
Let's leave it. Time to go on.
Okay. Does that want to meet? You want to make a motion?
Sure, I'll move this one.
Second?
Oh, second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Unanimous vote in favor. All right. Here now the fun begins. The CPC articles. All right.
I almost wish we could knock off the other ones at the end and then leave this to the end.
That's fine.
I mean,
Yeah, because
people have done some recommending. I don't. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, I'm wondering that these generally, to Deborah's point, these generally require a little more thinking and
Right.
wordsmithing. I think, if I remember. So I think you're right, Deborah.
The housing one in particular is kind of a.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Article 21, opioid settlement funds. I wrote this one. So this article approves an accounting procedural change to more easily segregate the opioid settlement fund as required by law. The article does not appropriate or raise any funds, nor does it authorize any borrowing.
Oh, nicely said.
You want to make a motion?
Well, can I understand though?
If you want to stare at it, go ahead.
At top, it says that we're voting to raise and appropriate from available funds. So I don't quite understand what we're actually doing here.
You could catch.
But aren't they going to the fund and not to, well, it says raise.
Yeah, maybe we need to make it clear. The town has been the beneficiary of the opioid settlement fund to the tune of the dollar amount, 15 grand, whatever it is. And we are required to keep it separate from other funds. This motion allows that separate accounting, something of that order of magnitude, because you're right. We're not appropriating it, we're getting it.
Right.
But we got to keep it separate.
That makes sense. Now I understand. Thank you.
So the 15,000 represents what we received prior to the current fiscal year.
Oh.
And we had to deposit it into the general fund, and therefore it fell to free cash. So now what this article is doing, it's transferring from free cash into this separate account. And starting July 2023, so FY24, all of the opioid funds that we receive, because we're receiving much more than 15,000.
Really? Great.
Yeah.
Nice.
Everything else that we receive starting this past July goes into the separate fund already. So we'll never have to vote this again.
What's the
So
verb?
maybe we want to say previously received.
Yeah.
Just said in prior years, town previously received the 15,719 in opioid settlement funds, period. This article approves an accounting procedure to keep the opioid settlement fund segregated from the general fund as required by law.
Well, I like Bob's wording on this next section, though. It's pretty direct.
Yes.
Procedural change to more easily segregate or to segregate.
Yeah, and just to give you an idea, we're to receive funds through FY 2039.
Yo,
Way that each
Wow.
settlement, yeah, with each distributor has been settled. Some are on like payment plans, and the total amount as of right now that we're supposed to receive is just over $134,000.
has anyone looked towards any programs to utilize that dough?
So that's what Tony's starting to look into now. He's working with the police chief and also with the school department for education programs, or it can also be used for like Narcan purchase. So they're starting to talk about that. Yes.
So, Allison, did I hear you say we've actually received more than $15,719.21?
So $15,719 is what we received before July of this year, July 2023. We did just get some additional money in the fall, but we have scheduled payments to receive through fiscal year 2039. It all depends. It depends on how the lawsuit was settled with each distributor and what that settlement was. So I have like a payment schedule that goes out to 2039.
So Allison, the first payment was in 2023, correct?
We actually may have received, no, you're right. It was 2023. We were supposed to get something late 2022, but we did not. The first one was in 2023.
Okay.
So Bob, start the paragraph with in a prior year, not in prior years, plural.
Or is it the prior year?
Why not just put the year?
Either works.
2024, right?
No, it was in 2020, 23 is what.
Yeah, it was fiscal year 2023.
And then you can make it a simple past tense. The town received.
Yes, you're right. Oh, okay. So this article approves an accounting procedural change to more easily segregate the opioid settlement funds and transfers the previously received funds into the new fund as required by law. I think that's a true statement. The town anticipates receiving misspelling opioid, not there.
Right.
Yeah, there's a second I, so Iowa, yeah, and in their first sentence as well.
Yep.
The change to more easily segregate. Can't you just say procedural change to segregate?
Yeah.
Yep. I would move to recommend that as is.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Unanimous vote in favor. Yay. Article 22. To add 2 committee members to the current 5 on the sailing committee or the sailing program committee.
Called the Sailing Program Committee.
Committee, yep.
And should committee be capitalized?
I think sailing program committee was all capitalized in the article.
Yep, you're right.
And then you don't need the rest of it. You can just go down to, you can take off and just say to help spread the workload.
Yeah.
It's sort of obvious. At the request of, yep. At the request of the current sailing program committee. Otherwise, it sounds like it might be us.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't need that.
Then you don't need to say, there you go. And then you can just say, go down to, you could go down to go down to two help spread. That tells you why they want to do
Yep.
it.
They wish to add members to help spread
The workload. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and it was actually, I spoke to John Foljam, as you guys all know from FinCom, and he was like, yeah, this is, we have some members that have been on the committee for a long time. We want to bring in new members, but it's hard to bring in new members when old members are still there. So we want to bring in a couple of new members so that we can rotate them in.
Also, you don't need this other committee twice. You can just say it's obvious. They wish to add members to help spread the workload. Take out of the committee. It's obvious whose workload we're talking about. There you go. And to bring in new members. And then you have to say the new members, plural. There you go. And longstanding is probably hyphenated.
I think you can end that sentence right there.
Yeah, I agree.
I
Yep,
agree.
that's it. Yep. Yep, that says it.
Whoops. Nice. Short, sweet.
Yep.
Motion?
I motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Oh,
There are no nays, so unanimous vote in favor.
yes.
Next is treasurer collector, changing the term of the treasurer collector.
Pretty straightforward.
So does Tony have a 5-year contract now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Oh, never mind. I see what you're doing too.
I have to ask, is conforms like this a verb? This article conforms. Is that a verb?
It
Wouldn't
makes
it be?
sense grammatically, but it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Hey, I was a scientist. I'm not an English guy.
Oh, we're not being critical. This article.
This article conforms the contract or the.
It conforms the term to that of the other terms.
Maybe you could say the treasurer. I don't know. If you say conforms the contract, then I think you're okay, but you've got to put the treasurer collector somewhere else. Maybe.
Wait, this article conforms.
The contract term of the treasurer collector to the other department heads?
How about aligns with?
Aligns is better than conforms. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
with instead of two, don't you think?
Yeah, with.
I have a 3-year contract too.
Awesome. No, we should
Good
get you
thing.
under like a 25-year contract.
Right.
Absolutely. The town would go underwater without you.
We could do a lifetime contract. How would that be?
Like Idi Amin.
Yeah, but with nothing in the refrigerator like that.
I'm not going there.
If it's good enough for the Supreme Court, it's good enough for Allison.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, don't go there.
And is the last sentence true? Oh, by the way, that would be situations.
Can we just say other department head positions?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
And it's also easier than
Yeah.
crazy grammar of other department head positions.
The other department heads, you might just want to put other, because not every department head has a contract.
Right. And then you take out that who DPW said, or that needs to go.
You took out too much there. Oh, the 3 years is implied.
Yeah, we could say other department head positions who have 3-year contracts if you want.
Oh, this shorter is better.
Okay.
They just said a shorter program where appropriate or something like that. In the interest of brevity.
No, wait, so you're suggesting take away that whole last sentence?
I'm saying does not preclude a shorter contract where appropriate, if deemed appropriate, or where appropriate or something like that. As opposed to the where both, yeah.
Where or when?
It's when.
Yeah.
When deemed.
Or even if. Well, it doesn't matter.
The when and if.
Isn't deemed a little teeny bit better because it means someone has to think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's better.
There's a beautiful sailboat that sails around Salem Sound called the When and If.
George Patton's boat.
It was George Patton's personal sailboat. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh.
Okay.
I move we recommend that.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? So the ayes have it. Unanimous vote in favor. Article 24. How are we doing on time?
8:30.
This one, I don't know, Barbara, you wrote it seems.
I wrote the one on the floodplain thing, and I got that verbatim from Tony, pretty much.
Is this
the one we're on?
Yeah, this is the floodplain.
Yeah. And I couldn't really improve on what he had to say.
does it tell us up above what the NFIP is?
In the article itself. I
Yeah,
can't
does it say what the NFIP is?
Can you scroll up a bit, Bob? Good question, Barbara.
All right, so what is this article doing? This article is bringing our bylaws, our zoning bylaws into compliance with,
Just flood hazard, all that stuff.
Maybe is the NFIP something like the National Flood Insurance Program?
Probably.
Someone could
Didn't we
just,
say something about this doesn't change the map?
Yes, I think, didn't he write that? Nahant's flood mapping, number 5, is
somewhere,
not changing.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
but someone needs to look up if the NFIP is, because people are gonna, you need to tell people what it is, that acronym. People know what FEMA is, but not NFIP.
It's the National Flood Insurance Program.
Aha, I was correct. Yes.
the
National Flood Insurance Program.
And if you put the NFIP in parentheses, then you don't have to spell it out anymore.
Correct. That's exactly what you do.
Oh.
I would suggest
what good things accrue from being in compliance with?
Well, it's a requirement.
NFIP.
You have no choice. Oh, I see what you're saying. You don't have to comply. I guess.
Okay, so
Does it mean people can get more insurance more easily? I don't know.
This is so long already that maybe it's enough to say that it's a requirement.
okay, so that's enough right there.
I would put a, what do you call it? A hyphen between plain and related to make it clearer. Seems to make it clearer to me.
Yeah, it does. That's good.
It's probably not capitalized.
No.
Oh, I bet it is. It's a program. It's a federal program. They capitalize everything.
Yeah, but this is talking about Nahant's zoning.
Oh, you're right. Got it.
Yeah,
Yep.
but this definitely should be.
Yeah.
It's not.
Actually, I think you have to put a hyphen between flood and plain. You're gonna have one between plain and related.
Like this?
Hyphen, yeah.
We created a double hyphenated word?
I don't think so, but I don't really care.
And this was verbiage we got from Tony, correct?
Every word.
I trust him.
Yeah. I wasn't going to mess with him. Well, no, I don't mean that. I wasn't going to mess with him.
Yes.
Not sure. maybe we should be safe. It just does not change the existing floodplain maps,
Do you
period.
want to take out the number 5 that he has down below, or do you just put that up there for emphasis?
No, I'm thinking we get rid of all the rest of this.
Oh, you are. Oh, I think it's too much. Okay.
Well, is that going to make Tony worried?
I don't know.
You might want, I mean, we could put it in appendix if you think it's,
Yeah, I'm wondering.
it is an awful lot of detail. I mean,
Maybe we could add this sentence. Most of the changes are administrative and do not affect what can or cannot be done.
here's a stupid, communities not updating their bylaw to be compliant with this new model or not compliant with requirements for participating communities. Isn't that a little circular? Yeah.
Yeah, the year immediately preceding the immediate prior year. All right, most. Why did you beep at me? I didn't ask you to search.
Oh, you must have hit something, Bob.
I know, it didn't do it by itself. Most changes are administrative and do not affect what can and cannot be done.
I think that's pretty good. And we can always put them, if Tony's here tomorrow, we can always put it back in. Or anything that he really feels is necessary.
Yeah. Or
Yeah, why don't we get to a point and then we can vote on it tomorrow after we talk to Tony.
Good idea.
Okay, tiny little thing. Floodplain appears to be one word, so you don't need that hyphenated floodplain. That's just make it one word. There you go. Thank you.
2 words up here, though.
I know. So which is it?
But it's 1 word here.
Right.
Well, just for
it has to be consistent. It should be consistent. What we put here.
Well, they have it with one in section 10 of the zoning bylaws. They have it with one in one word. So why don't we?
See, DuckDuckGo says it's one word.
That's because I typed it that way. But this dictionary, whatever it is, American Heritage Dictionary of the English Language has it as 1 word.
Yeah.
Go there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would be in favor of just keeping it short like that. And then let Tony or the planning board or someone else with the detailed knowledge speak to any, the details of the changes if folks are interested, or if we want to include a supporting statement from them.
I think Tony could speak to these. Just get to the podium.
Yeah, I think it's one of these things, when we go through the scripting of this, we would read it, and then Tony could get up and give the, kind of the Monarch Notes version of it as to why we're doing this.
And he's very reassuring when he does that. He does it in a very reassuring manner. So let's let him talk it.
Yep.
Okay, so we're not going to vote this one, but so we make the note, confirm with Tony.
And suggest or tell him that he would say these things verbally.
Actually, he'd say them orally.
Orally, thank you.
I'm giving you a hard time.
No, it's getting late, so then I start.
Good observation, Barbara. It's getting late.
I know.
We've only got 2 or 3 more.
Well, yeah, I think we, all right, so stormwater improvements, Dan, you included a note here that just said need more information.
Yeah, I was hoping to close the loop with Tony, and I kind of shirked this mission a bit. So I know that he had uh, a more clear explanation of how the lowlands is enjoying a bid, and then with what's left over, they'll attempt to do something at other locations in town.
Well, maybe we should wait for him tomorrow.
I think we should. He seemed to have a good plan on it.
Okay, we wait. This next one,
I also think that it's important that the stormwater improvements, the Article 25, that Tony will have us add something because it should not look so much smaller than the citizens petition. It should look, we should mention some of the, see what I'm trying to say? Maybe it's okay, but the citizen petition looks so much longer.
Yes, yeah, the Article 25 is missing most of it.
Oh, okay.
But the citizens petition, I think, is the citizens petition 26, I think, is done.
Yeah, we can't change that. That's what they put in.
Right.
Wait a minute. Underneath where we can't say recommended and then not recommend, right?
Right.
this is not right. This is all throttled.
Yeah, it's kind of, it addresses, only addresses.
It's not just the lowlands, it's Castle Road.
On the citizens petition,
Yeah, see?
it's the juncture of Castle and Fox Hill Road.
Right.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of considered lowlands.
I think of the lowlands as being that playground area. You know, the lowlands playground.
Why don't we put the thing about the lowlands castle or whatever?
Yeah.
Or even just, right?
That'll do it, Castle, but it has to be spelled correctly. There we go.
Did we need to put Fox Hill in there just because that's what's up above in the article? Juncture of Castle Road, Fox Hill. You could put in a slash like lowland slash Castle Road slash Fox Hill area.
Or we could just say it addresses only a limited area of
I like
town.
that the best, personally.
Yeah.
So is it in conflict with Article 25?
Yes. Yeah, it's there's a big overlap because this is talking about a project that's already half done, and Article 25 completes the project that's half done. And we also don't know if anybody from the citizens petition has any interest in this and just hasn't gotten around to pulling it yet.
So, I mean, Article 25 is broad across town. And I think it's somewhat duplicative of Article 25, but I don't think it's in conflict with it.
Yeah, I agree, Tim. It's duplicative.
But yeah, it's not in conflict, but it's yeah, I think you're right. I think it's duplicative and yeah.
Well, it's an either or.
Oh, well, then
It's
it is.
duplicative. You could say something like it's
I think you don't have to say
duplicative
it.
and it doesn't align with what the town is doing. So it's not a in direct conflict, but I would think using the verbiage, it doesn't align with what the town is doing. Maybe sounds a little better.
It does sound good. And the other thing that Tony said was that, in fact, but doesn't align is the good way of saying it. Tony had said it actually was not recommended by the engineering study that we had done. In other words, it's proposing something that the engineering study says is not going to work, shouldn't be done. But we've got the sufficient engineering.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Oh, Tony said something about that, but let's. Dan's got sufficient engineering in there.
I mean,
That's
I
good.
think there's sufficient negatives there. I just don't want us to be saying, well, because Tony doesn't like it is why we're not recommending it.
Good point. Thank you.
Okay, and I took away the sentence about conflict and added that sentence. Is
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that covers it.
I take the hyphen out of ongoing.
Yeah, it's one word that I use too often.
Is there a better word?
No, I just mean I find myself using it a lot in my writing.
Also, you've got two onlys in the last bullet. Maybe it addresses only a limited area.
Yes, good.
And then you need an A in front of limited.
And you don't need.
Or don't you need an A there?
Where?
It addresses only a limited area.
A limited area of. Oh,
right.
I see what you're saying.
A, right there. Right. Dan, I really like the way you phrase that it lacks sufficient engineering to specify the tasks and costs indicated. Well put.
That's what Dan does.
Well done.
That's all the stuff Dan does at work. Engineering and specifies all the tasks and costs.
Well put.
Right. And then he has people.
Thank God.
We okay? Someone want to make a motion?
I move to accept it as revised.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Unanimous vote in favor. Article 27, continue committees.
This is one of those standards.
Right.
Right. A motion?
I don't think we need the comma after above. It's telling us we don't.
Correct. I want to thank you, Barbara, for being so quick to thank people. You're really
Barbara is so gracious.
So good about acknowledging, she's our official.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're right. Because no one ever gets thanked.
Okay. Does anyone want to nominate Barbara as the chief acknowledgement officer?
I have to say something.
Yes. There you are.
I have to say something. Thank you for thanking me.
No. Thank you for thanking me for thanking you.
There you go.
We could go on all night. I'll make a motion that we accept this as written.
Yep.
As a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous vote in favor. So that is the end.
Well, we have CPC.
Yeah,
Right.
right. We have all these CPCs.
So there was an email that came out today on the clawbacks. So we can do one motion on the clawbacks. Is that correct? Did
That's,
I
I
read
think,
that?
what, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so sorry, on that subsection M, you can delete those subsections A through F. And I deleted that on the version that I sent around today.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
And so that has to be stated in the motion.
When you say it has to be stated in the motion, can you explain that?
So what we have now is as subsection A through F at town meeting, when we say I move that, and we would say 114.44 from, you'd have to read all that detail.
We'd have to read all these out. Okay. All right. That's fine. Do we have standard verbiage for that?
Yeah, what did we say? Good, thank you, Pete.
Community preservation.
End here.
Oh, so it looks like we may have done individual in the past.
I think we should do individual because there aren't that many, and B, they're very different, and some of them are controversial.
Yeah.
No.
Just
the clawbacks? No, the clawbacks are just the amounts left over in the accounts. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the whole.
Yeah, no. I was just looking for the standardized statement that we have, like this. These are clawbacks. These are what's left over in these accounts. These projects are completed. Yada yada yada.
I don't see it.
I can't find it either.
I think we used to do it individually, so maybe we didn't have a statement like that.
Search for clawbacks. I don't think it's there though.
Expenses.
There weren't any clawbacks last year.
Well, yeah, but I'm in 2021. I'm looking in the old 2021 book.
So
last year, that's for sure.
In the 2021 book, were there CPC articles at all, or was that just
there are definitely. We had, the Dory Club got some money.
Okay.
The chapel got some. Committee reviewed. Supporting statement. Some of space. Town hall. Yeah, so wait a minute. Here we go. To recommend that the town transfer. No, that's not it. Yeah, because these go into the general reserve. Okay, so I did find it, and we did have them. We had them broken out. Each one recommended. So one is to recommend the town transfer $159.72 from the unexpended funds appropriated to the town of Nahant by the annual town meeting FY 2014 community preservations for the wharf seawall projects, yada, yada, yada. So I don't know. I guess it probably is easier to come up with a recommendation. Unspent funds from prior years makes those funds available for future grants.
Here's the sentence I just wrote. This article recovers unspent funds from prior year CPC grants and makes those funds available for future grants.
Unspent.
For future CPC grants.
Right.
Unspent allocated funds.
Yeah, and basically we could just have this simple recommendation, and then I don't know who's reading this one, but when they get when they've made the recommendation, they could just literally say, this is leftover money from each of these projects that have been closed out. This allocates this back into CPC funds so that we can appropriate it to future grants or something like that. And I don't think we need a whole lot of explanation in the recommendation, probably more so when we're talking at town meeting.
Yes. So you like my sentence? This article.
I do.
But add Tim's word allocated. I like that. So recovers unspent funds from prior years CPC, from prior years allocated CPC grants.
I'm not what I mean, what I don't even know what does that add?
Oh, maybe it just makes it sound
if
like
it's a grant, it is allocated.
Of course, you're right. We don't need it. Good point. And am I correct that it can only go to future CPC grants? It can't go anyplace else?
Correct. Yes.
Yep.
A motion?
I'll make a motion to accept
or
this
further
written.
discussion, one or the other.
Yep. No, yeah, what we recommend is written. Or accept as written, I should say.
Second?
I'll second.
Sorry, it's getting late. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No, unanimous vote in favor.
Ooh. Just knocked one more off.
What number was that?
It is whatever the CPC main article is. I think it's Article 20, subsection M, as in Machiavellian.
M as in Mary. Okay.
No, Machiavellian. I want you to spell Machiavellian, that's all.
I can spell that easily.
I bet you there's at least two people on this call that can spell Machiavellian.
Yeah, I can also.
Of course.
I'll bet there are at least two people on this call that are Machiavellian.
Ooh.
At least two.
Okay,
there's
right.
Ouch, ouch, ouch.
This one should be boilerplate.
Which article are we talking about?
We're still in the CPC article, and there's a subsection. Last year, we just said recommended, period.
What was this one?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It just says recommended with no.
So do we have to vote? Does the town have to vote the CPC funding every year? Taxing?
We voted every year.
Yes, I think this is a required article or sub-article.
I thought we were going to defer the whole CPC thing till tomorrow.
Yeah, we are. I think we were just trying to knock off some of these standard boilerplate ones. So, yeah, this is excuse me, this is a standard boilerplate that allows us to basically take the money and put it aside for a later appropriation.
So this gives it the taxing authority.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's a no. I think the taxing authority was the town meeting vote that approved for CPC. I think this is and maybe we need to wait for Tony, but I think this is where we collect the money, but we actually have to say, all right, we're going to put it aside. We're not using it right now for this, because let's face it, we don't use all of the money every year. So this, I think, allows us to put it aside. So we may need to wait for Tony to give us better clarification.
So you are correct. I'm not sure that Tony would actually know this or not, but this is so CPC required to spend 10% of the revenues on historic projects, 10% on housing, and 10% on
Recreation.
Yeah,
right.
Right.
So this article covers you if the recommendations from the CPC don't allocate 10% of the funding to that, which for FY25 they do. So then any other remaining money that isn't allocated, that is raised through the CPC tax, will go into the general reserve. That's what this is doing.
All right.
Wait,
The general CPC reserve.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
So any, funds above and beyond the current projected revenue will go into the reserve.
The CPC reserve.
CPC reserve, correct.
I'm just trying to find that boilerplate.
Why is this new? I thought this was always the case.
It is. It's just at least last year, it didn't have any explanatory text at all. It just said recommended.
I see. Oh,
And
okay.
is it in excess of estimate? I don't understand why estimate is the correct word there.
It's revenue.
All right, so
right? It's estimated revenue.
Yeah, it's because so right now it's only an estimate of FY25 revenues, and that's how the CPC made their grant allocations. We only have an estimate because we're not actually in FY 2025. So the total amount of the grants right now equals what the estimated revenue is. Whatever we collect in excess of that estimate will be deposited into the CPC general reserve
For future use.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's
So-
the same fund that takes the money that they don't spend.
Not that they don't spend. So each of these subsections allocates a certain amount of money to each of these projects.
Mhm.
Once each subsection is approved, those funds stay with that project.
Oh.
Until you claw it back. That's why they have the clawback article.
Right.
Mhm.
So
This is for anything in excess of the total of these grants, the difference between the total of these grants and what's actually collected in CPC taxes.
Yeah.
So just I'm looking at the 2021 book, as I said before, and it looks like for clawbacks, we just did recommended. We didn't say recommended for blah, blah, blah. We just used recommended. And when it comes to, recommend the town set aside from fiscal year 2020, community preservation funds, we have simply recommended. And then I think.
Yeah, that's what last year was too.
Yeah. So I would just say we just put recommended. I mean, it's a procedural matter. It's a procedural article. And I mean, maybe what you have is fine too. This is a procedural article that allows the revenue, and just Well, let's not overthink it.
It's kind of complicated though. I just like this is a procedural article or something because this
Yeah, no,
actual
that's
excess currently estimated revenue. I mean, I find it a little confusing. Maybe it's because it's 9 o'clock, but
yeah, no, it's. I mean, so this is. I think, yeah. I mean, these. I think these articles. You know, as I said, the clawbacks and this, and I think there's probably one more. Are essentially, yeah, procedural. Pay a portion of the cost. Because there's,
Yeah.
that's the other one is the $10,000
Yeah,
one.
the 10,000 administrative, I was gonna
Right.
say.
And I saw that one here too.
maybe it's okay to leave it because it's so kind of administrative-y that you sort of think, oh, okay, fine, somebody knows what it means.
Bird is getting very lazy here.
Yeah, I think we all are.
Yes, I think so.
So we'll defer all the rest of these
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, till tomorrow night. But for all of these debt articles, it's basically the same words. I just changed the purpose of the debt and the years in some cases. So it just says it authorized the payment of annual debt service for whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's what all these are. But we'll visit those next week.
No. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Because I need to warn you, Allison, please confirm. I think Allison and I, primarily Allison, have to finish the warrant by Friday.
Yeah,
Right.
the book has to be done by Friday.
So we're
Yep.
going to need our little nice letter up front and everything. So folks, we're going to have to stay up, I hope not too late, but tomorrow night we have no choice. We have to finish.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you.
We do.
You gave my speech for me.
Right.
And Bob, are you writing one of those nice letters that you've written in the past?
I will do my best.
Because you write lovely intro letters. They're very
Actually,
nice.
it was Julie that wrote all those lovely intros.
Actually, it was Julie. She did. And she
Wow.
always put a little historical piece in.
Yeah, she always had a little human interest in there.
Yep.
Maybe we can call her and ask her to do it for us.
Yeah, she's waiting for that phone call.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to visit all the rest of these.
There's
So
not that
folks,
many though. I mean,
There aren't that many, yes.
but they're longish.
right.
And yeah. And
So folks, all what we're saying is just, I don't know if you need whatever, something, make sure you can stay up till we're done.
Yeah. Put a pot of coffee on about 6:15 tomorrow.
Okay. So I will email this edited version around. Is it only committee members remaining? All right, so we do
Could
not.
you include me on the email, Bob? And then I can
Absolutely.
update.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. You and Tony both.
And I would also like to add, we do have a number of minutes that we need to vote on, but let's wait. We can wait for tomorrow on those two, or even whatever. We don't
Next
know.
week.
Tomorrow
Yes.
and tomorrow creeps in its petty pace.
Nicely put, yes.
Day to day.
We don't have time for a petty pace, however.
Right. But I can't think of any rapid paced Shakespearean quotes just yet. All right.
All right.
I think go ahead, Peter. You know what.
I'll make a motion. We adjourn.
I will second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you all and good night.
Thank you all.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.